Welcome, dude. How you been?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing good here in Chicago, obviously. Kiss FM in Chicago. You and I, last time I saw you, I think it was at a Pause event, Pause Chicago event. It was a charity event. You were
Yep.
being honored. And I wanted to ask you that day, did you adopt Larry from Pause?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. We've had him 10 years. It'll be 10 years in February.
So cool. So cool. So
Yeah.
we're kind of like in the same, we're kind of like related by Pause because we've adopted the wife and I have
Cousins.
adopted as well. So that's really cool. That's really cool.
Canine cousins. Yeah.
Canine cousins. And what's funny is like that night I took a picture with you and I tweeted it out or whatever, and it went completely freaking bonkers. Like it got viral. And the reason was because of like your hairstyle. Because I think you had been off social media for a minute and you had
Pretty sure
shaved your
I was
yeah,
bald, right?
yeah, but dude, like literally, like notifications for days, just shaved head CM Punk is coming back. I'm like, is that the most absurd like thing about you that goes viral? Is it literally stupid little
Um,
things like that?
oh God, I don't know if it's the most absurd thing about me that goes viral. It's just one of those things that I can't understand, or I have a hard time understanding, like why anybody cares about my hair or the gray in my beard or the fact that I'm like, missing a molar back here. Like, like people see things and they just, I don't know. Like, I'm not worried about anybody else's teeth. You know what I mean? Like,
They're a little bit obsessed. No, it's all good, dude.
it's a little strange. Yeah. And
Yeah,
it's always
yeah.
under the guise of, oh, I hate this guy, but they're the ones that talk about me the most. But I do
Mhm.
have fans that get pretty upset if I'm bald, and I don't know why.
Well, can't you
Yeah.
can't make
I look
everybody
good
happy?
bald. No, you
Yeah,
can't.
yeah. Well, listen, I know we got to talk about it, man. It's happening 1 week from today.
Yeah.
Next Tuesday night is a huge deal because NXT's moving to the CW. And the first show, of course, it has to be in Chicago, has to be at the Allstate Arena, and CM Punk has to be there, right? All these things
Yep.
align perfectly.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a big step up for the kids in NXT, and I affectionately say kids because I'm like the old guy in the room now, you know what I mean? And I think NXT is headed towards a tremendous era right now. CW is only going to help that, but the talent to be on a bigger stage and to get more eyeballs on them, I think is going to be great for a lot of the kids down there.
Now we know why you're there, and we know that there's going to be a lot of people in Chicago there. But why should people that are listening to this or watching this interview tune in? What's going to be so special about this particular night?
Uh, I think it's going to be special because it is the first NXT show on a new platform, and there's always going to be the excitement, great matches, surprises. That's always fun, and it's Chicago, and I'm there, so you always kind of have. I always at least want that air of uncertainty, like what's going to happen. Like, because every time I'm in Chicago, I try to make it special. We do run a lot of shows in Chicago. So sometimes I think it is a big ask of our fans. And this being, NXT, some people look at it like a third brand. Some people look at it like a developmental. So you're not going to get the Randy Orton, the Roman Reigns, the Cody. And I say that, and Roman's on the St. Louis show in 2 weeks. I'm on the first show for CW. So, but it's all there to help launch NXT. So to me, if you're a fan, it's one of those things you don't want to miss, So
Yeah.
hopefully you got Wednesday off and you can come hang out with us on Tuesday night.
I will be there, and Wednesday's my birthday, so it's perfect.
Oh,
It all just worked out. Look at that. It all
no
worked out.
kidding. All right,
Yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah. So what's going on with you and Drew McIntyre right now is amazing, and I want to compliment you. And I meant to say this from the front. I want to thank you for all that you've given to us fans. We've just like really spent a lot of money and time with our friends and each other and our family, being entertained by you. So I just as a super fan, I just want to thank you. But to Drew McIntyre and this whole feud that's been going on, I know he's a dick. Like making fun of the wife and the dog and the wristband and everything, but is this the best like Drew McIntyre has ever been as working for the company?
God, I'm obviously the wrong guy to ask this question because I just want
Yeah,
to say something,
yeah.
not
You can say whatever you want.
flattering about him. But the thing is, gosh, I don't know. I'm in a weird headspace about it because there's not a lot of more intimate situations you can be in with a human being. Like you can, I guess the PG way of saying it is there's making love, and I'm sure all the shippers out there on the internet are going to go wild with that one. There's dancing, like you can dance, you're super close with somebody, and then there's fighting, and you know, I don't think you really get to know anybody more, so to speak, um, unless you do one of those three things. And the thing is, I absolutely don't like Drew McIntyre. Like I want this to be all over with because it's literally like all I think about. I'm almost borderline obsessed with it now. So it's like an ugly situation. I don't like who I have to be and who I have to become October 5th at Hell in a Cell. So is this the best Drew McIntyre's ever been? Well, yeah, that's what CM Punk does. You
Mm,
know, high tide raises all ships. You know what I mean? Like if you don't give anything more, like if you give less than your best, like you don't rise to the occasion, you drown. I eat you up. That's the way it is.
man, we're gonna see some blood, you said. Really hope
Uh,
that's true. That us fans love us. We love us some blood.
so why does everybody want to see me bleed so bad? I have no idea.
Yeah. It's crazy too because I was there at Survivor Series when you showed up. I may have gotten yelled at by security to get off my chair because I was standing on it.
Oh my
But
gosh,
but
that's for your own
you
safety.
right. You have really only feuded with Drew in coming up on almost a year. So there's a lot of guys probably you got circled around that you want to work with that you want to wrestle, right? Like what are some of those names?
Uh, God, I mean, it's a fair mix of people that I've already been in the ring with and people that I haven't. Um, I think getting back in the ring with guys like Rey Mysterio or John Cena, Randy, Cody. I think there's fun stuff to do there, but then there's the crop of people that I've never been in the ring with. Chad Gable is one that like really sticks out. Uh, I like watching Kaiser. I think he's pretty incredible. Gunther, obviously. So it's a fair mix of like people that I have existed with in the past, and then there's just people that I haven't even been on screen with. Like I did some dark matches with Dominic, and I think I could do some pretty great television with him. Like I think him and Liv are spectacular. Damian Priest is another one. I got a loose promise with him that me and him are going to main event the Garden. He was supposed to main event the Garden in like a dark match, and like he had like really bad flight trouble a couple months back, so he didn't make it. So you know, I owe him that. At least I think I told him that. I'm trying to remember. So the answer, unfortunately, is everybody.
Yeah.
Pretty boring answer. Yeah.
No, no. I mean, everybody wants to see that. Like, it wants to see everybody. You brought up John Cena. If you owned the WWE and you wanted to make the most money out of John Cena's last match, who would it be?
Oh gosh. Um,
I got my
I'd
answer.
Do you? What's your? I'd have to ask John. And I think
Yeah.
everybody's
Okay.
going to have like
Yeah.
their 2 cents of like what they do. But like what I love about John coming out and saying like, "Hey, this is it. This is going to be a journey that we're all going to go on together, and this is it for me." Um, I really like that because I think he gets to kind of write his love letter to pro wrestling on his way out. So I've always said this since he announced he was going to retire. Um, if he wants to get in the ring with me, whether it's tag or whatever, I'd be flattered. But if I'm not part of that story, that's great too. Like I'm going to be a fan just like everybody else sitting there and watching it. Like I'm excited to see what he wants to do, what he's going to do, what's going to happen. He's had such a great career. I think it's easy to say, you could say Randy. I think some people would say me. Um, there's very knowing John, I'm assuming it's going to be somebody new, somewhere he can hand the baton to. So it might be Gunther. It might be somebody that he has his eye on that nobody else is really seeing. You don't know. And that's what's exciting to me about it.
Really cool. Yeah, we're excited for next year for sure.
Well,
But
who's your pick? Who
Randy, it was a no
Randy?
brainer. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think just because of their history and also just the number of championships the two
yep,
have accumulated over the years. I think that would be a cool one last swan song, and it also will make you wonder, like, oh shit, who's going to win this match, right? Like, I
yeah.
mean, it's not an up and comer, so John's not going to necessarily want to rise up Randy, but he might, but
Hmm.
that was kind of like the no brainer for me. But also, yeah, we can't wait to see you and him, like you said, either tag or mix it up against each other. Um, when WWE and Monday Night Raw move to Netflix, what do you think us fans are going to see differently about the product?
Um, about the product, I don't think you're going to see much difference than what it is now. I think we're pushing boundaries a little bit here and there. Um, I just kind of want to temper people's expectations because I don't. I think there's a section of the fan base that's like, oh, they're going to Netflix. There's going to be full frontal and swearing. It's like that's absolutely not the case. I think we've
Yeah.
learned from the Attitude Era that like you can only do that for so long before you're trying to outdo yourself every week, and then it just becomes bad television. Like I think every once and again you can push the envelope. um, I think what you're going to see in difference of what the product is now is I think we're going to maybe I think there's still going to be commercials on Netflix. I'm not 100% sure about that, but we might be able to fudge it so it's not during matches. So you're going to see maybe some play with like the format of the show. But I'm not 100% sure on all that. But content wise, I don't think you're going to see, you know, as much as Rhea Ripley wants to come out there and talk like an Aussie and drop a C word here and there. Like, I don't think you're going to see that.
They use it so willingly. It's
It's
pretty funny. Yeah.
love it. Love it.
Yeah.
It's taboo over here, but over there, it's like
Right.
saying bro.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Um, you said that, I love this quote. You said you're here to make money, not friends. I'm
Yeah.
guessing, I'm not a gambling man, but I'm guessing I would put a lot of money to say CM Punk's been making some good money, right? What do you
Yeah.
do with that? What do you do with the money? What does CM Punk like to spend money on? Or do you just save it all for a rainy day?
I don't really spend my money on anything. But I work extensively with paws. I give them a lot of money because who doesn't love puppies and little rescue misfit animals? Um, yeah, it's like I'm not like a car guy. I make sure my wife always has flowers, and I think I spend money on food a lot. Like I'm a pretty big foodie, like quality of food and stuff like that. Like I'm pretty big on.
One fantasy booking question for you.
Yeah.
Here, Kiss FM, top 40. It's like I'm obligated in my contract to mention Taylor Swift once. So Taylor Swift versus Kim Kardashian, one on one. Travis is in Taylor's corner. All the Kardashian sisters are in Kim's corner. Who's going over? Who's winning this match?
Taylor Swift. Yeah,
Smart.
100%. Yeah, big baby face win there. Huge.
Clean, clean.
Yeah. Oh, clean as a sheet in the middle of the ring. Anything else doesn't work for me, brother.
Oh, dude, thanks for spending some time with us. Before I let you go, I'm going to do five favorites. But I'm going to twist it since we're both in America's greatest city. So I'm going to do five favorites Chicago style. So start favorite airport in Chicago.
O'Hare.
You're an O'Hare guy?
Yeah. Because you can take the blue line straight there. Yeah, I don't gotta like transfer, use red line, brown line, or anything like that.
Do
Just
you use the blue line?
straight
You get
shot
on the blue line?
all the time. And
Oh,
you should see the faces of people when they see me, and they're just like, "What?" Like it's so foreign to them that I would use public transportation.
like you're above it, yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite Chicago cheat meal. You said you're a foodie. What's like you're not worried about you're not gonna be on TV for like a month, so you're just gonna let loose and eat something really, really, really good that's really bad for you.
I mean, there's a couple of things I would probably I'm going to give away all my spots. That doesn't mean you can come bother me while I'm eating breakfast, everybody. Dove's is a great greasy spoon breakfast diner that has like some elevated stuff, and you can eat clean there, but you can also like go wild. They got crazy pancakes. Um, Down the block from there is obviously Mindy's. I will eat some pastries. There's so many great places in Chicago. I don't think you can just settle on one, because sometimes you're just like, I want hot dogs, and you got to go to Wiener Circle. Sometimes it's pizza. Sometimes I find like you can find the best restaurant out of any culture in Chicago. You love Cuban food, best places in Chicago. 90 Miles is a great place. There's just so many places in Chicago. So it's too hard to nail that down.
Yeah. Uh, Favorite music venue in the city?
The Metro.
So good.
Yeah,
So much tradition. Yeah.
I affectionately say I grew up there. It's not like I lived in the basement or anything like that, but like every weekend, like it was there, the Riv, the Vic, the Fireside, those are the places that I saw a lot of punk bands and, so the crazy bands like Jesus Lizard in the 90s and just wild stuff. And I don't know, there's something about the Metro that I always loved.
That was my first actually concert when I moved to Chicago over a decade ago. I saw it was the most Chicago thing ever. It was Fall Out Boy at the Metro. So it's like
That's pretty
this is a great way to
Chicago.
get this is a great way to enjoy the city for the first weekend. What's
Yeah.
your favorite thing to do in the summer in the city?
Ride my bike. And that
Lakefront?
can, more oftentimes than not, yeah, because I'm sick of getting hit by cars, which has happened too often in my life.
Has it really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah. It's
biggest
a
fear.
and Chicago is a pretty friendly bike city, but it's still pretty brutal. You got to have your head on a swivel. Like you
Oh,
really gotta watch out.
yeah. And the last one is favorite memory as a kid in the city.
Oh gosh.
Because did you grow up in the city or the suburbs?
Yeah, so I was born at Silver Cross Hospital, and
Mhm.
my parents moved us to the burbs when I was like two, I think. Uh, but every weekend was spent at my grandpa's house on like 95th and Trumbull. And he
Mhm.
had like an old, I don't know if it was a Model T. He had this really old car. It was like one of those, like looked like it had bicycle wheels. And it was just like I, you know, I just have this memory of like what his garage smelled like. And like we would take that car out and like we'd sit in a little like almost like carriage seat and like kind of like ride around and like what the horn sounded like.
Wow.
Um, I remember going to Cubs games when I was a little kid. I went to a Blackhawks game at the old Chicago Stadium
Mhm.
when I was a little kid, and like so,
Mhm.
like that's a pretty big memory. Um, Rainbow Cone, a
Oh,
Chicago favorite. I remember
best.
barefoot running across the street and burning the bottoms of my feet like to go
Yeah.
get a rainbow cone. Just stuff like that, like being a
Yeah.
kid in the city. All American Comics, which ironically was the first job I ever had, but that was on 95th and Evergreen Park. So I
Mhm.
remember walking past there all the time and seeing comic books and superheroes, and that just kind of feeding my imagination and my childhood.
Man, what a time to grow up with no cell phones, right? Jeez.
Yes, no cell phones, no social media.
Ooh,
We got
oof.
to run around and on playgrounds in MacArthur Park and get hurt and do all
Yep.
the fun stuff.
Couldn't call mom or dad because you just had to walk home with a scraped knee.
You had to figure it out. Yeah,
Dude, thank you for the time, bro. Seriously, I can't wait for next Tuesday night. You're wearing the referee shirt. You've been practicing your count?
brother. I'm gonna try to outdo goofy Seth Rollins with my referee outfit. I think you know, like I have to, and I think they want me to wear that headset that he had on that ref cam too. So things are gonna get wild. We'll see how it goes.
On the CW NXT new chapter, then right into Bad Blood the week after. It's busy weekend. It's always a busy life for you. So
Yes.
appreciate some time spending with us, man. We'll see you soon.
No, I appreciate the help on spreading the word about NXT. Hope to see you there.